You know what's worse than getting hot glue down there when you're not wearing pants? Doing it twice in one day. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me, Kyle, as we talk about Aaron Fischer. Considering June is almost over and June's Pride Month, I thought it'd probably be a good idea to do one of the canonically gay characters that I have cosplayed as. So in the comic United States of Captain America, long story short, Steve ended up finding a bunch of other people who had picked up various monikers of Captain America. One of them was Captain America of the Railways. I don't pick up on a lot of subtle things, but railways? Railway? It's not why I did the costume. To be honest, the reason I did the costume is because I asked everyone, hey, who has a mohawk in Marvel? Because I wanted to do a Marvel character for Dragon Con last year. I didn't want to do Dakin, even though I ended up doing Dakin. Point is, Kyle had a mohawk. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, or Willard will get you. Just kidding, that's not a threat, FBI. Willard will not get anyone. Willard's in Willard jail right now, actually. If you're new here and you're like, this man is weird. Yes, there's no sugarcoating that. I am what I am. Kyle. Small announcement / shout out. Thank you everyone who has donated to me or bought anything from my wish list. Honestly, getting a few things from my wish list and a little bit of money kind of spurned me into doing something that I've had on the back burner for a while. I'm finally making a website. My main motivation for having a website is kind of a landing page for people that are not really familiar with cosplay, or how many times have you wondered about something and someone's response was,
"You can Google that,"
or
"Let me Google that for you."
Thanks for your very helpful response. And so having a repository of cosplay examples and a lot of resources and other things like that, kind of low-key been, I guess, a dream of mine that I've been wanting to create since I didn't start cosplaying until I was older. So thank you everyone, kind of making this dream a reality. I don't know, it's just exciting. Anyway, yay! Aaron Fischer, Pride, Captain America, Rainbow, Pride, America. Do you remember that, like, hi, gay sketch? That's... I feel... I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sound like that. I was just... Anyway, let's talk about Aaron Fischer's most iconic part of his costume. The shield. Yes, it's a trash can. I love Captain America, and I feel like Aaron Fischer's he's kind of a grungy guy that literally has a trash can lid. It just seemed like the perfect excuse to actually make a quote-unquote rough shield. Doesn't have to be perfect, and I don't know, it kind of got me out of like making a really nice shield. It was easier just to make a trash can lid. I don't have any vibranium, okay? But yeah, the shield was pretty easy. Did print off a pattern for the star. That's not really that amazing. I can't try to draw a star without doing like actually no, try to make a star even. You will not be able to, because it's impossible. I think it was like attempt number 3 that I did a freehanding. I was like, no, we're just gonna do the star. Apparently I can't draw circles either, so I think I did the trick where, like you take a piece of string and you go wee, well, more weird. So that was the part that I wanted to get out of the way first, and then kind of work my way down to the costume. Let this be a lesson to anyone who wants to make anything. Definitely Google how to do some things, because there are some tutorials online. And when I was making the head covering, I kind of just freehanded it and being like, I don't need a pattern. That would have saved me a lot of time. I need to remake this, because depending on what angle you're at, it slightly obfuscates part of my eyes. I said, oh wow, I did not mess up the word obfuscate. I normally do when I say that. I was kind of feeling a trashy vibe. I'm always feeling a trashy vibe. You know, trash. Welcome to ASMR Trash, where I will be getting... I don't know how to do ASMR stuff. Do I just say the word trash? Gosh, the utility belt was actually really annoying, because this burlappy stuff that I had, it was the only thing that was like close to the right color of a utility belt. I didn't have any pleather or anything like that at the time. This stuff frays, and so this was a nightmare. Kyle had to redo so many of these boxes. I cannot tell you how much I wanted to scream. I did scream. I'm pretty sure I threw that across the room at one point when it started fraying. I ended up solving that, I think, by just straight stitching down, or zigzagging down and then straight stitching or gluing, or it was a nightmare. It would just this is the sound of, well, it's kind of like in Multiverse of Madness, Mr. Fantastic is going... It was like that. It's like literally as soon as you made any cut, or as soon as you tried to trim it by sewing it, it just fell apart. To make them boxy, I had some random foam. I don't remember what it was from. Well, to shove it in there to kind of like open it up and keep it, give it structure is what I'm trying to say. You take the foam, and so it wasn't just flopping around. Hearing that back, I don't know how any of that would make a double entendre in any way. I'm sorry, let's talk about the costume. That was a challenge, and I think this is true of pretty much any discipline or practice or skill or anything. Sometimes you have to fail. Even if I kind of knew about the frame beforehand, at some point in the future, I probably would have messed up. And so now it's kind of good to have this, oh, look, Kyle, you messed up. And now you're going to remember this mistake. The overalls are cool. I actually have made overalls before for my Brigitte costume, which was one of my first costumes that I ever made. That material is a lot easier to work with. This jeans do not, what is a jean? Can you have a singular jeans? Because it's a pair of pants. Is each leg a pant? Pantalones. No, it's the same. It's, in English and Spanish. I think someone was going to make jean purses or something. So they collected a lot of jeans. And then after 5 minutes of sewing, I think they gave away all of their jeans to me. That's the short answer of how I have so many jeans. I ended up having to dye this a little bit. I think I soaked it in some ink because I don't have any of the writ. Yeah, this is just a lot of pressing, a lot of trying to make the fibers bend in certain directions. I did not have a serger at the time. Not that I use my serger now because I'm scared of it. I'm also scared of my 3D printer. And clowns. Everyone is scared of clowns. Clowns are terrifying. Pressing that open and actually keeping it to make it look like overalls was a little bit of a challenge. Oh, these stupid shoulder straps would not stay up. I need to figure out how to redo those because they kept just falling apart. You can kind of tell, and I'm really glad the utility belt kind of hides it because it's not exact proportions of overalls because I, for some reason, didn't look up, hey, what do overalls look like before I started really making this? And as for all the paint details, because, if Aaron Fischer's living in a rail car and doesn't have much, everything was pretty much free-handed on there. So I did this costume at Dragon Con last year. You'll notice in some of these photos.
Dragon Con, I'm going as Aaron Fischer, who is basically a kid that kind of lives at some train tracks. They picked up a trash can and became Captain America, and his costume's homemade, so it looks homemade, but like homemade couture, whatever that means. Almost. I'm pretty excited about it. I hope I get recognized, and hopefully I see some other Captain Americas and we can do some wink group photos. That was a weird wink, I'm sorry.
There's no paint up here or down here. Why? Because I forgot. I always make a to-do list of every costume and everything I need to do, and blah, 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 blah. I think I accidentally threw the list away, and I couldn't find the list when it came back, so silly Kyle kind of walked around looking foolish without all of the correct pieces. I made the pride flag about 2 weeks ago-ish, just so I could it's like, oh, it's Pride, I should, I sometimes like to revisit costumes, and I was about to sing Oh Canada, but that's not the Pride song. Is there a Pride anthem? Probably something by Tina Turner? No. Yeah, Rolling on a River is probably not the Pride song. Is it? Tell me if there is a Pride song. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Really excited to keep working on my website and just kind of, building the brand more because I like sharing gospel with people. See you next time. Aaron Fischer signing out. I'm not Aaron Fischer, I'm Kyle J. Kirby. I love my name, actually. Cool name. I got into a rabbit hole of wanting to add 10 trillion features to my website, so more to come. Every time I think of Vogue, I think of Dogue. This. Jeans.